I'm Rita Gentili from the Red Hook Community Arts Network, reporting about the Sculpture Expo 2014 in the Red Hook Village. Right here, we are starting in the Veterans Memorial Park. We're going to have a short tour of the sculpture along Route 9 and along Route 199. These sculptors we have represented here in the Sculpture Expo 2014, and sculptors in general are architects. We have actual architects who are the sculptors here, and they are otherwise architects of their constructions, their visions.
Hello, my name is Gilbert Burrow. I'm a sculptor from Old Lyme, Connecticut, and I've been doing it for quite a few years. We have something called ATR-28 Buckingham Blue here in town, and it's part of a series. ATR means after the race. I traditionally do a lot of sea-oriented sculptures. I was a race boat captain. I spent many years at sea, and my mind's a little waterlogged. Many of my pieces are larger. The piece here is actually only 8 feet. A lot of my pieces are over 12 feet to 24 feet. I love developing concepts progressing from maquettes up to larger hand-built sculptures.
My name is Conrad Levinson. I'm a sculptor and co-curator of the Expo 2014 exhibit in Red Hook, New York. This particular work, ATR-28 Buckingham Blue, it consists of 3 separate pieces that are cut out and have curves around the outside, and they soar gradually up into the sky. So the work kind of brings your eye up to the sky, and it changes as you walk around it, and you see the different shapes of the cutouts, and also the appearance of this special paint, the Buckingham Blue, changes with the time of day and the color of the light that comes from the sky.
Conrad Levinson from Stanfordville, New York, my co-curator for this year's Sculpture Expo, is an avid collector of industrial steel waste.
This piece, the Pendulum Totem, is one in a series called On the Cutting Edge, and it's a series that incorporates antique ice saws into contemporary works of art. It also has moving parts, and it has this pendulum that swings back and forth, and people are encouraged to touch this art. Unlike others in museums, the art in public spaces like this show in Red Hook, people are encouraged to touch it and interact and think about what it means to them and what the symbolism is that it suggests when you look at it. The pieces are all old and rusty, and they develop this patina over time that reflects the fact that they're natural materials and they change over time with nature. In my work, I build bridges between the past and the present. I recycle old objects and artifacts and repurpose them and recompose them into sculptures. My work is designed for people to get involved with it, to touch it, to make it move, and to cause them to think about and ask questions about why things are arranged this way, and also to be aware that you can take junk and discards and find a new life and a new meaning for them. I'm in front of my piece called Eccentrics. This piece is 10 feet tall and 4.5 feet wide, and it weighs about 600 pounds. And it's made from old wagon wheel rims that were taken and cut in half. So there's a 54-inch diameter one, which was the outside, a 48, a 36, and a 30. And we split them, and we put the biggest ones and made a fixed S on the outside, and all the other parts are movable. So you can set this up in any configuration that you want. and we encourage people who are coming to visit to participate in the way it might look. Very often when I come by here during the day or in the evening, it's a different configuration from when it started in the morning. And that shows me that it's working and that it's successful. The wheels are the old wagon wheel rims are all rusty and pitted and dinged and banged up, and that's what gives them their special character, so that you know that they're not new. They have a history, they have a story to tell. And when you put them together, they have an overall geometric composition which varies depending upon the position that they're put in. This is my work macroscope. It consists of a steel rim about 6 inches deep, about 30 inches in diameter, sitting on top of this wood pedestal. And it's called a macroscope because when you stand behind it and have the view through the macroscope at objects in the distance, it looks like they're framed by the wheel in a kind of perspective effect, and it looks like it has a lens in it that magnifies that view and separates it from the surrounding environment.
Frederick Rostock has always found interpersonal relationships most important in life. He says that his poets relate to each other as hopefully the viewer relates to them.
The inspiration for them and the idea for them is I've always been interested in poets because the way they describe things and situations very short and very precise. So to me, it's also not only an intellectual kind of thing, but also a philosophical kind of thing. 3 of them in a group is in front of the Elmendorf Inn. And across the street, farther up north, there's a little park. There's a single one there. They all relate to each other, and they also relate to the single one. So there's some kind of relationship between them.
Interesting about this piece is in the morning and in the evening, this piece looks like a completely different piece. David Channon from Shandaken, New York, has reinterpreted the legendary Headless Horseman of Washington Irving from the legend of Sleepy Hollow. And David would like to ask us and let us know that Washington Irving perpetrated a hoax and a spook in his legend of the Headless Horseman. What is really the head of the Headless Horseman? Was it a jack-o'-lantern, or in the interpretation of David Channon, was it an old rusty lantern? This action figure, as he calls it, has been thrilling people for generations, and communities debate over who is the rightful heir. Leon Smith from Ancramdale, New York, likes to use scrap metal and found steel objects. Here he has fashioned this found steel into a headless bird. If you walk around the piece, you can see that it is a found object and not fabricated into a bird shape. The thing about sculpture that differentiates it from other fine arts and visual art is that it is three-dimensional, and good sculpture always has many different perspectives, and one should be able to walk around the object, around the sculpture, and see it anew at many different perspectives. The Dreamcatcher by Tyler Borchert from Kingston, New York, is fashioned from found driftwood coming off the Rondout Creek mostly. Tyler has a studio along the Rondout at the Strand in Kingston, where he weekly, I believe, builds new and exciting pieces from driftwood and found.
This piece by Leon Smith, which is located in front of the library, is called Rimaway Grand, and it's made up of a series of old wheel rims from cars and trucks that were crushed and then welded and riveted together in this abstract pattern. And then it was painted in this subtle palette of colors of dark blues, grays, and aquas. And it sits very nicely here in front of the library. It complements the colors of the library building. And like all great works of literature and books, it causes people to think and provokes them into new ways of thinking about art in the environment, and what does this mean? Screw Totem was the People's Choice Award winner in last year's show, and very, very popular in the village, and has become a symbol of the show. And the village has decided to acquire this piece, and it will have a permanent home here in front of the town village. In front of the village hall.
Much like Rimaway Grand in front of the library, this Leon Smith piece, called Disunited, is also constructed from tire rims, painted, as you see, in this brilliant, iconic red, white, and blue of our United States flag. This piece, brilliant and attractive, caught a lot of attention even before it was installed in the village. It's become a very beloved piece. People come to look for it. It made the cover of our show's postcard. And Leon Smith has made a statement for others to observe and question and think about. And his other pieces are much the same. They create a bit of they are meant to stir up your imagination. And though nature may shape stone in an arresting way, in beautiful ways, stone shaped by human hands can radiate powerful associations regardless of their scale. Binnie Meigs from Sheffield, Massachusetts finds the form within the stone, and therein lies the power of the pieces. These granite pieces play with the different surfaces and textures that can be attained when working with stone. We've got rough, very smooth, highly polished areas. Cloudmaker, this piece is called, could be imagined as a tool ergonomically designed to fit the hand of a god. Imagine the wielding of this tool, which would cause clouds to form and rain to fall. Meigs would like us to notice and question the business of this tool. How would it be held? Where would the clouds come out of this form? In shaping this granite, Meigs uses stone to express this jewel-like or monumental quality that can be had through nature's materials. Hello. I'm sitting on the base of another granite piece by Binnie Meigs entitled Blessed Rain. Blessed Rain is a figure, it's either male or female, who is pleased by the falling rain, or, if so positioned, standing under a downspout, enjoying the falling water. The artist asked me to show the public how the granite color changes and with the element of water added to this piece. And this piece is very much about water. The two granite pieces that we've seen, the piece previous, Cloudmaker, and this one, Blessed Rain, are both designed and dedicated to garden placement. and the attendant relationships the association may bring contemplatively. This is Rita Gentili.
And Conrad Levinson. We just wanted to thank you for joining us on the tour of the Sculpture Expo 2014 in Red Hook, New York. We hope you'll come and visit the village and visit the show sometime this year. It runs through November, so you can see it through the summer and fall seasons.
Thank you for joining us, and thank the Village of Red Hook for all the support and all the community effort that has gone into this and last year's sculpture show. We hope that everybody will come out and see the art and talk about it and enjoy it. Sculpture Expo 2014 is a Red Hook Community Arts Network sponsored event.
For more information,
go to the website www.rhcan.com or write to contact Sculpture Expo 2014 at gmail.com.
Redo. No. We gotta get a redo. The video camera's involved.
come on, boys.
Oh, I've been too late. The papers, they might take a sec. The papers, they might make you wet. Well, I hope I satiate whom I entertain. Hoping that you got dancing. Hoping that you like the beat. I'm entertain. It's the papers in your mind. Ooh. It's a sexy way to cry. Though I've had my share of doubts, saw the papers in your mind. Well, it's the baseline in your mind. It's a sexy way to cry. I know I've had my share of doubts. Dust all the vapors in your mind.
Too bad the sun is coming.
So watch me bend
You get nothing but silhouette.
knock you off your feet where you stood, dancing if you must be in LA. Knock you off your feet, waves. You keep dancing if you could. What I entertain? It's the baseline in your mind. It's a sexy way to cry. You know I've had my share of doubts. There's some vapor in your mind.
That one went out to Roger Federer, the tennis player.